Hey guys, Chris here. We're once again outside of my friend's dealership here, TS Autosalg here in Fredrikstad. A huge thanks to Thomas. Link to his dealership in the description down below. They do new cars, old cars, performance cars, all types of cars, and if they don't have the car you're looking for, they will most definitely find that car. So today we have a 2006 BMW M6. In the last video, we drove a 2001 Audi RS4. So we're again doing a video of should you drive your heroes? This car came out when I was in my early 20s, early 20s, late teens. And this was most definitely one of my dream cars. And in today's video, we are going to go ahead and test drive this car and see if, should you buy or should you drive your dream cars? Climbing into the interior of the 2006 BMW M6 is a very different experience than the Audi RS4. That our Audi A4 platform came out in 1994, and this platform came out in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, this feels 10 years newer, or even it feels 20 years newer. This doesn't feel very old actually, though it's almost a 20-year-old design. BMW were very futuristic with this generation of BMWs, the Chris Bangle design era. It's not been in particular a very good looking car on the exterior, but it has aged quite well considering what it is. I think the front end, which was the least controversial at the end, is the least successful part of this car. The bangle butt on this I actually think looks quite cool. But yeah, this does feel very nice and very luxurious indeed. Okay, so let's set off. This has a 6-speed sequential gearbox, and this also has some parking sensors that are really acting up. So there's no park actually. You put it into neutral and then you pull up the handbrake, and we have really sunny weather here. So we have to put on our shades so we don't, get blinded by the sun. But just out of the box, driving slowly here, this feels like a much more modern and normal car than that RS4. This just feels more normal. That RS4, right away you could feel that was a bit of a different. So we're in manual mode. Okay, is there an automatic mode, or do we have to shift manual? This might have only manual mode. I'm going to have to figure that out. Can I put it into auto? I thought this had an auto setting, but you have the power button. So this has a 5-liter naturally aspirated V10 engine that comes from the time when BMW were in Formula 1 racing. So this is basically a racing engine that they made for the road. It has, in power mode, it has 507 horsepower, 400 horsepower when you don't have power mode activated. You can also do the ferociousness of the gearbox here. So let's go ahead, just put that in mid setting. We have some traffic here. But yeah, this revs to almost 8,000 RPM. This is one of the best sounding engines ever, in my opinion. This has an exhaust, no branded exhaust, but it does sound. Okay, that was like 3,500, 4,000 revs, guys. This could be an experience. This also, but this engine is just sensational. This engine sounds so good. I mean, it's not so loud. It's really weird coming from that RS4, but it's not. And it pulls, and it just doesn't feel as super fast as that RS4. It's very weird. It's so much more controlled, so much more tame, and we are in power mode, because if I press off power mode, this is probably gonna feel quite slow. Yeah, that doesn't feel fast at all. But it's naturally aspirated, right? versus the turbocharged engine in that RS4. 0 to 60 is 4.1 seconds. And it just sounds so good. My God, we're gonna put down the windows. What does it sound like on the outside? Scheiße, it's so loud outside. Okay, yeah, so above like 6,000 revs, this is really, really quick. 6,000 revs, and that was a police car, so I'm really happy I didn't pass too quickly. But yeah, above 6,000, this thing just... Second gear, 5,500. Yeah, wow. Okay, this is a sensation, this engine. I mean sensational. I know I said that about that RS4, and that RS4 was in every way I could describe when I drove that car, but this is just a really different beast. The whole driving experience, much more comfortable, much more luxurious. Yes, this is a bigger and heavier car, but this engine... 8,000 revs, 8,000 RPM, and it's so smooth. It is so smooth. Okay, come on. Yeah, it is quick. It's not slow. It is most definitely not slow, but it feels so civilized. It feels so controlled. It's a weird sensation. So what's really weird is, if you're watching this video, you might be wondering, what the hell am I talking about? 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, 507 horsepower, a sequential manual gearbox, which shifts quite quickly. We're in the most ferocious mode. It's quite quickly. It's not the fastest, but it's quick enough. And I'm talking about this not being, it doesn't feel super quick. It's very weird. But in a modern world where everything is turbocharged, where you have instant, low down torque, and then you have EVs with instant torque, this doesn't feel, and I don't mean it in a bad way, it just feels very controllable, because with my Audi e-tron, I mean, it's a 2.7 ton SUV with 407 horsepower. When I put my foot down, that feels immediate. It's just immediate. And in this, it doesn't feel immediate. This is more of an experience, because you have to rev it out. So 3,000 RPM, 4,000, 5,000, 6, 7, 8, and then shift. So here you have to chase the revs, and yeah, that V10, oh my God. Let's open up both windows. Let's open up both windows. I don't know if you even are hearing this, guys, but and this gearbox is really weird, because unlike something like a dual clutch, which just, smashes in the next gear, when you're on throttle, I might be able to try this off throttle, but when you're on throttle, and it doesn't matter if you shift at 7, 7.5, or 8,000, there's like a delay. It's like you hit the rev limiter, and then you're lurched forwards, and then it changes gears, and then it's on again. Okay, DSC deaktiviert. This car is in German. Okay, let's do a rolling start from down low, okay? Okay, that feels much more immediate. That feels much more immediate when traction control is deactivated. And this car, it's dry outside, it feels very connected. It doesn't feel scary at all. When these came out like 15 years ago, as I said, I was in my early 20s, late teens. And I was like, this just sounds like a package that would be very scary to drive. It's not scary at all. In many ways, that RS4 was more scary. This just feels civilized. It just sounds amazing. Vroom! I've driven scary cars like a Ferrari FF with a V12. This doesn't feel... And guys, yeah, it's a bit dark here in the woods on this 2-lane road. And this car has a Starlight headliner that the previous owner had installed, and it's just blinking in all the colors of the rainbow. It's hilarious. So there you go, guys. That was my test drive on the 2006 BMW M6. And in many ways, this is an awesome, awesome car. I mean, that engine is phenomenal. But in the other way, I'm a bit disappointed because it's so soft, it's so isolated and insulated and so comfortable. This engine and something like an M3 would just be amazing. But still, guys, this is one amazing experience. And yeah, should you drive your dream car? Most definitely, if it's a BMW M6 from the mid to late 2000s. This is an amazing car. The gearbox, it's okay. It's not, after I drove it for a while, I do understand what people are saying about the gearbox, but well, for this engine, I mean a V10 engine, you have this, the Carrera GT and the Lexus LFA are basically the only modern day V10 engines I could think of. And yeah, the Dodge SRT8 pickup truck, and also the Dodge Viper. But well, that's a handful of cars with a V10 engine, guys. So well, yeah, amazing. I'm really glad I got to drive the BMW M6. So guys, if you liked today's video, please drop this video a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.